I'm Mr. Arevalo John Kenneth, and I will presenting Toy Manager Program. And this is the member, Bartolome Carl Justin, Castillo Josel Angelo, Ira Johnberg, Dilara Dan Carlo, Gigante John Michael, Nabalta Charles Darwin, Nabera Jake SB, Valer Nicolo Mori, and the leader, Barcelona Ramon Carlos. And I explaining the program that we presenting. This Toy Manager program in Java use OOP and an array list to manage a collection of toys. It is allows user to add, remove, search, display, and filter toys based on their condition or feature. Menu settings runs into a loop until the user exit with input validation and error handling to ensure smooth operation. And the next presenter will be Bartolome Carl Justin.
I'm Cardasin Bartolome. A display menu method in the Toy Manager program is responsible for showing the main menu options to the user. It prints a structured menu that includes choices such as adding a new toy, removing a toy by ID, searching for a toy by name, displaying all toys, filtering toys based on condition or features, and exiting the program. The method ensures clarity by using separators to enhance readability. After displaying the options, it prompts the user to enter their choice, which will then be proceed in the main program loop. The next presenter will be Ramon Pasilona.
I'm Robert Carlos Vitasilona and I'll present the toy class. Before that, I will explain why we use our list for toy feature list and is battery needed. The toy feature list and is battery needed are two static array lists that we use to store the features and battery requirements for each toy. The toy feature list holds the features of each toy such as battery operated or full mechanism stored as a string. The is battery needed list hold Boolean values corresponding to each toy where indicates the toy needs a battery and false if it doesn't. Since both lists are static, they shared across all toy instances, meaning each toy features in toy feature list is directly related to its battery requirement in battery needed through the same index. This setup allows for easy tracking of each toy features and whether it is requires battery, ensuring consistency between the two lists. The toy class. The toy class represents toy attributes such as name, manufacturer, condition, weight, size, and ID. And list of features. The class generates a unique ID for each toy, incrementing it with every new instance using the static ID control variable. The constructor initializes the toy details and stores the toy features in array list. The get name, get ID, get condition, get feature list methods provide to access the toy attributes. The display toy details method formats and prints the toy details, including the toy ID, name, condition, manufacturer size, weight, and its feature. The next presenter will be Giselle Angelo Castillo that will explain the create toy.
I'm Joseph. I'm Joseph Angelo Castillo. I will discuss about create toy. The create toy method is designed to gather information from the user to create a new toy object. When the user is prompted to input details such as a toy name, condition, size, weight, and whether it requires a battery. The method is ensure that all relevant information is captured. If the toy is battery operated, the users is asked for the additional details like battery type. However, if the toy is not battery operated, the program bypasses the battery related question and focuses only the features that do not require a battery. For example, if the toy has features like a pull mechanism, this will be displayed. This is allowed the program to accurately describe toys with different functionalities, ensures users understand whether or not batteries are needed and what other features the toy may have. The method ultimately helps create a toy object that reflects the user's input while ensuring the information is displayed appropriately based on whether the toy requires a battery or not. The next presenter will be Mr. Navalta Charles Darno.
I'm Charles Tabalta and I will be explaining the method remove toys by ID. First, we check if the list is empty. If it is, we inform the user that the list is empty and he or she is trying to remove something that doesn't exist. Next, we ask the user to input toys ID. We use a loop to ensure they enter a valid number. If they type anything invalid, we prompt them again. We prompt them again until we get a proper integer. Once we get the ID, we search through the list. If we find matching toy, we don't delete it immediately. Instead, we call the method get yes or no input. This method asks the user if he or she really want to delete the toy. He will then ask to press Y for yes and N for no. If the user confirms with Y, we remove the toy and print a success message. If they choose N, we cancel the operation and keep the toy. Finally, if no matching toy is found, we notify the user. That's all.
I'm Don Cordillera. I will explain the search toy by name method. The search toy by name method searches a toy for a toy in a toy list based on the user input. If the list is empty, it notifies the user and exits. Otherwise, if the name is found, it prompts the user to enter a name to checks for a match by iterating through the list. Therefore, if a matching toy is found, the details of the toy will be displayed. The next presenter will be Nabera Jake SP by explaining the display toys.
My name is Nabera Jake SP. I will explain the display toys. The display toys method shows a formatted toy collection. It prints header, then loops through each toy in toy list and display its details using the display toy details. This approach helps represent the items clearly and organized. And now, next representer, Mr. Gigante John Michael, it will explain the display toys based on condition.
I'm John Michael M. Gigante, and I will discuss the display toys based on condition method. The display toys based on condition method allows user to filter and display toys based on their condition, new, used, and refurbished. It first checks if the toy list is empty and notifies the user. If there are no toys available, if toys exist, it prompts the user to select a condition using the choose toy condition method. Then it iterates through toy list to find and display toys that match the selected condition. If no matching toys are found, it prints a message stating that no toys meet the chosen condition. Next presenter will be Paler Nicolomori, and he will be discussing the display toy features.
Hi, I'm Nicola Mori Paler, and I will be explaining the method that filters toys based on multiple selected features. First, if the toy is empty, we notify the user the end exit. Next, we will display all available features and prompt the user to enter one or more features number. The loop ensure a valid input, checking for empty entries, invalid numbers, or out of range selection. The selected features are stored in a list. Once the user select features, we go through each toy in the list and check if it has all the selected features. If a toy matches, it is added to the matching toy list. If at least one matching toy is found, we display the filtered list along with its detail. If no toys match, we notify the user. These methods allow the user to filter toys efficiently based on multiple features at once. That's all. Next presenter will be Mr. Junbert Dairo for error and debugging.
Thank you for the for introduction. So let's go for the code. So first, my role is to check error handling and debugging. First, go to default, and the error checking is to notify the user. If the user enter letters and or some characters, it will notify the user most invalid choice. Please try again here in the default. And let's go for the check user choices method. So as you can see, the process of the check user choices, we use try and catch to check if the user right enter value. And let's go for the next method, display all features. Here's use for loop to display all the features. And goes to method operator. Create toy method. From the toy name manufacturer, I use a method to get valid input to check the user input. If the user empty or not entered any value, will error checking. And let's go for the variety operated. Also, we have the for if dot like boolean for if else to if for y yes and for no to check if the user and entered y it will be true, and also for n it will be not asking for another features. So I use the get yes or no input method. So we'll go to that method. As you can see, we have stream and uppercase. Stream purpose for if the user entered a value. If the user or not, it will be error checking. It will notify the user invalid input, enter yes or no. So let's go for the remote toy voice based on ID. First, we have if else statement. So it will check the user input. If the user input any kind of ID number, for example, if the toilets have not recorded for toy, it will be notify the user to the toilet is empty, nothing to remove. So same goes for the while true. if the user enters letters, it will notify the user from go to else in notify invalid input. Just enter valid number. So also we have from the bottom we have say toy with ID not found the list. So let's go for the search by name method. So we have also same procedure for the remove. So we have if to check the list and if empty it will notify the user. So nothing to search. So same goes for the bottom. So let's go for the for display toy by a base condition method. So let check first. Same goes same procedure. And also we have error checking for a not found toys in selected condition. For example, user entered any kind of ID uh, that are not recorded on the toy list. So it will be notify the user no toys found in this selected condition. So let's go for the method filter to buy features. So first look at for the error checking. Uh, Input cannot be empty. Let's enter one feature. So most user enter between 1, 2, or 3 uh, to become through the error check of the condition. I mean, so from the bottom, the try and catch, we also have error checking. It will notify the user invalid features index, and also from the sketch, invalid input. And from the bottom, not selected features empty, and else the error checking is no valid features selected. Please enter the list on valid feature. So let's go down. So we have condition here if not has feature, it will become false. So let's go down again. So we use for loop to check all the toy list and matching toy. If the user uh, if the user enter this matching, it will be true for the code. If the toy are not matching, it will be go to the else. It will notify the user no toys found with the selected features. So that's all.